Bikorder Warriors!
Hi, my name is Aubrey.
I am Drew Clark. So on this week's episode, we'd like to talk to you a little about our equipment, technology, and the importance of beer. And where we go next.
Front-facing camera mount, a Bluetooth speaker, my navigational phone mount, my bike computer, and headlight. It's really kick-ass because you can kind of, sometimes you look down and you have all these instruments, you know, and things are lit up and you have all this control. It's really cool.
I carry one phone facing me that has a map going all the time. I have a forward-facing light when it isn't lost. I also have the shifters and the brakes on the handlebars. And I also have my odometer, my computer, and that's hooked up to a magnet that spins around on my front wheel, keeping track of mileage and speed. One of the really cool things about our technology is our warp cores. And a warp core is a battery that we has as USB charging outposts that we charge our lights, phones, cameras, and pads.
That's right. Mine actually has, the one I have, I don't know if yours has this, has a one LED light. So it can function as a really chintzy flashlight. I calculated the milliamp hours of all my equipment that could be charged and compared it against my quote-unquote warp core capacity, and I have days of power all my devices, like recharge all my devices like twice.
Now, recharging the warp cores actually takes a long time, so we don't normally bring wall outlets on our trips because there aren't normally wall outlets and it takes a really long time. So we're going to stop somewhere, we lose a lot of daylight.
And it's extra weight.
Plus it's extra weight.
A few extra grams of weight.
I believe the next step the thing I want next as far as the warp core goes is I want one of those little solar powered recharging warp cores. They've got this one half is solar panels and it's got the dual USB outlets and it's...
They tend to not have as much capacity.
Yeah, they're small. Like mine's only 10,400.
And then like kind of, the ones I've seen are kind of chintzy.
Yeah, I think that the technology will improve. I hope it will.
It would be nice to just have like a charging pad built into your mounts.
Yeah.
So your phone is just charging while it's touching.
And then if you had the solar panel going at the same time, it'd be like, bam! Okay, so the technology on our bikes we feel is very important. Now this stuff is often heavy. Batteries, phones, cameras, things like that. Those are particularly heavy per square inch items. And we find their importance to be very natural. Like I enjoy having a screen when we're going through a bunch of turns in a town. I want to be able to look at where the turns are going instead of just hearing some sound. So we carry the battery, we carry the camera to make this awesome show, and we have all the stuff we need.
Yeah. We have power for cameras, we have power for phones and navigational units, we have power for lights, we have power for days.
Beer! What role does beer play in our trip? What role does beer play in our show? What does beer mean to me? What might beer mean to you?
Beer is a refreshing beverage. Once you arrive where you're going, have a nice cold beer, or lukewarm beer even.
Maybe it was a long day.
It's happened, we've done it. You know, a nice piping hot glass of beer at the end of a day of riding. First of all, it has nutrients.
Vitamin A, sugars, proteins, it's a natural, super living human food.
And it's mostly water, although it is a diuretic, so...
Gotta keep that in mind, gotta hydrate.
It really is like an elixir. You have a personal connection with beer.
Beer to me is a sacred, magical, living, human superfood. At the end of the bike trips, when we get to the campsite, I'm so happy that I carried that extra bit of weight so they can have a few beers by the campfire at night. It really feels like it's refueling my body. Maybe that's my perception, Maybe it is reality, maybe it's a blend between the two. In any case, we, and me especially, I know, I find beer to be important in this journey. Today's beer is Drake's IPA. And we're enjoying it today in the sunshine here in Richmond, California.
Cheers.
Cheers. Nice medium-bodied West Coast IPA, 7% alcohol, made in San Leandro, California. Drake's is pretty popular now. They're in a bunch of places, and this is kind of one of their standard flagship beers. And
You know, we usually stop at a store that's close to the destination point. That way we don't have to carry too much weight too far. I think the most beer that I carried was like a 6-pack and a bomber.
yeah, I think we both did that time. 6-pack and a bomber.
Which is like...
An amazing amount for one person.
it might have been one of those Lagunitas Sucks ones. So it's like 30 ounces or whatever.
But we didn't drink all that, I don't think. I think there was
No.
a couple left over.
Yeah. But I think it was Sammy P or China or one of those. You know, carrying an extra like 10 pounds of weight.
Yeah.
Last leg of your journey sometimes can be challenging.
Limitation of beer is that beer during the day while I'm trying to ride doesn't really work. I find that it makes the hills harder and it's not really fun. It's really reserved for the end.
Yes. There are other medicines, perhaps, for the journey time.
Yeah.
But yeah, beer tends to, again, for me personally, kind of slows me down on the hills. Beer is extra weight, but it's worth it for the nutrients and for the
Entertainment.
experience.
The healing nature of the ethyl alcohol blended with the nutrients from the probiotic living food really makes a nice combination.
Get out of town. Where are we going next?
We are going to the famous Adam Grell's birthday party in Sacramento. The Bikorder Warriors, I believe, are choosing at this time to hop onto the train to take up to Fairfield. And we're going to ride the 40-some-odd miles from Fairfield into Sacramento.
So it'll be 40 miles each day.
Yes,
2 days.
2 days. Unless we choose to ride further and get on the train later.
Sure. So basically Amtrak to
A distance
riding.
that we can make for the event to make it on time.
So this is going to be a first for us. We've done ferry to biking.
We've done van to biking.
We've done van to biking. But we haven't done train to biking.
So I'm excited about this trip. I'm really happy for this big surprise party that's happening for Adam Grell, the famous Southwest Airlines commercial actor. He's a very talented individual. He invents things with his hand and his brains, and he's really smart, and he used to live here in this apartment with me. We're going to arrive as a surprise on bicycles at this party.
So he's in the dark.
I'm in
It's a
cahoots
truth.
with the planner
I see.
to make this all work
Perfect.
for us. Yeah.
And then you and I are going to show up.
These are like-
Sweaty.
What? Clam chowder dripping down our faces. Beer and clam chowder just drenched in sweat, permanently wet hat, water pouring down our faces. Hey Adam, come on man, give me a hug.
It'd be great.
Day 2 of the party, we're floating down a river on inner tubes. If we choose.
Is that on Friday or Saturday?
Well, we got to talk about the scheduling.
We got to talk about. See,
We got to talk about the scheduling.
this is as fresh as it gets, guys. We haven't even pinned down whether we're leaving
the route?
Friday or Saturday.
One my right truck down to the lake, going to the red band, taking my steak out.
White truck, only color I use. Don't know other color trucks, it's for you. I keep my trucks white all the time. White trucks on the road are fine.
about like the philosophy of human powered, I agree. I feel like autonomy, agency are words that come up for me, where it's like there isn't some dependence on outside energy coming in. There's this kind of radical self-reliance that I really enjoy thinking about with this kind of being human powered. And you know, say one day money doesn't work anymore, and basically most services are kind of out of order. I feel much more prepared in kind of a general sense that if there wasn't a way to get gasoline, I could move around, I could carry things from place to place.
Mm-hmm.
I could camp anywhere in California with relative ease, and it would be a lot of mobility and a lot of moving capacity, I think, without any outside influence.
Yeah, your dependency on outside resources diminishes drastically compared with a car.
I mean, you've got your tubes and your chains wear out.
Sure.
You know, there's things in the bike that wear out,
Yeah.
and a lot of that can be self-administered and self-repaired.
But even like during the course of a trip, really the only thing that comes in from the outside is firewood and food.
Yeah. Those are the two energy sources we
And
buy.
sometimes just food.
Why don't we have an electric assist? Why don't we do this on a motorcycle? Why don't we do this in a car? We could. Your van's perfect. We just go camping every week in a car. There's something about human power.
Yeah.
Yes, Inferno. Please welcome Inferno to the show.
Human agency. Being responsible for everything yourself.
Something about like,
You know, you're not using gasoline, you're using calories. It's great because it's almost a timeless thing, a timeless pastime. Your dependence on outside resources diminishes as you move from car to bike. And there's maintenance costs.
yeah,
In the apocalypse, that would probably be the biggest thing. Food and
tubes.
tubes.
Maybe we could find a way to like make tubes, 3D print them or something. I mean, that sounds reasonable, right?
Or recycle somehow.
Yeah, melt down and reform. Is that crazy?
Or just get to the point where we don't need to use inflatable tubes anymore.
Oh, see, like a
Like the Tweel,
tell me.
it's like this, it's a replacement for the radial tires on automobiles. It's essentially just this lattice work of like rubber. You have only what you carry with you into the unknown lands. And in those lands you must deal with various obstacles and challenges only with the resources that you have.
Bikorder Warriors. I am Drew Clark.
I am Aubrey Cloutier.
Tune in next week, where we ride to Adam's birthday party in Sacramento. Thanks for subscribing, liking.
Thanks for liking, smiling, being friends with people. Thanks for joking. Thanks for appreciating things and having discretion.
Thank you.